YouTube, and welcome to episode 9 of the Marseille career. We are here ready to go with the start of our second season here, which is the start of technically season 3 of the Save, and we are going to start with the UEFA Europa League Path 4th qualifying round. That's a big mouthful there, but there we go. This is what we're dealing with. These are the seeded teams, and we've got Manchester United. Where did they finish in the league last year? Finished down in 6th. What happened in the Premier League last year? Where are we? Can we go stages, overall? No, okay. How do I go last year? There we go. So I went Man City champions with Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Then Leicester, Man United, and Leeds. What did Leeds win last year? They must have won something. They didn't win that. Alright, they won the FA Cup. What happened in the FA Cup last year? Leeds beat Chelsea in the final. Okay, so that knocks Tottenham out of the European places. West Ham finished bottom. I wonder who they had, or who they still have. Bowen, Haller, what's Zahavi's that? Okay, that's the Israeli guy. Alright, we're getting... Declan Rice. Surely he's transfer listed. He's not transfer listed. I'm very, very surprised that he has not said, I want to leave. We might just keep an eye on Declan Rice moving forward as well, and maybe Susek too. But here we go. Alright, let's get back to the draw. That's what we're here for. We're not here to look at the Premier League. We might do that in the next part of the episode. So let's go back. Alright, so we've got Man United, we've got Basel or Seneca, we've got Villarreal, we've got Balk or Celtic, Plazen, I don't know who these guys are. And then we've got Eintracht Frankfurt, you've got us, Lokomotiv Moscow or Atalanspor, you've got AZ. So they're the Group 1, we're the seeded teams. The unseeded teams are Fiorentina, Standard Liège, not really much else. In Group 2 seeded, I don't know how this works. There's so many teams here. Okay, there's 65 teams to draw. So let's just go through this. So we've got these guys, those guys. All right, us. Here we go. I don't know who we could get. I don't understand how any of this works, but we are going to be playing Maritimo from Portugal. So how'd they finish? Where'd they go last year? Let's have a look. They're in Liga NOS. But let's see what happened with Liga NOS last year. Let's go. So they finished 5th. 17 wins, 4 wins, 13 losses. I'd like to think that is an okay draw for us. Who's in their team? Let's have a look. Tactics, senior squad. So they've got a decent 31-year-old striker here, Rodrigo Pino. Correa. Is that the one I'm thinking of? No. Okay, different Correa. Okay, it's a different one. It's Argentinian though. Which doesn't look too bad off the right wing. Then they've got off the middle. Then they've got Fumu Tamuzo down the wing. Doesn't look fantastic. Marcelino, 26-year-old Brazilian, doesn't look great. Look, I'd like to think that we would be fine to take them on. That game is going to be on the 18th of August. What we've got in between is Nice. So you're going to see us for the Nice game, where I will do the breakdown of who we've signed, and then we'll probably even get both. Actually, what we might do, we might go Nice, and we'll go the second leg of the tie so we can cover Monaco and Lille. We have a very, very tough start to the season, but we are lucky that we don't have to play PSG until here in January. So we get them really, really late. Does that mean we finish with them? Yeah, so we're pretty much going to finish with playing PSG at the end of the season, but that's alright. So you'll see us for the Nice game. Hello YouTube, and welcome back to this episode of our Marseille save. Before we jump in, I have jumped ahead a little bit. So when you last saw us, we were doing the draw, so we hadn't played any of our league games. We haven't started too badly. We started with a 1-1 draw with Nice, which, as you can see, probably wasn't very deserved for Nice. We absolutely dominated, a bit more possession, better passing, created a lot more chances, but in the end we couldn't get a winner. We then had a very, very entertaining 4-4 draw with Monaco, where they got a red card, then we scored, and then we were 2-1 down going into half time, and they literally, look at that, 45th plus 5 and 90th plus 6 and 90th. So it was just one of those games where you go, we've had almost 4 XG where we've scored 4 goals, where they've had also 1.7 XG and scored 4 goals. And some of these 2 goals here were just absolute wonder goals, which were quite frustrating because we deserved to win that game. In the first leg of our Europa League qualifier, we did win 4-0, and it was a very comfortable 4-0 win for us. And then we went and beat Lille 2-1. So if you told me at the end of these 3 games that we'd come away with a win and 2 draws, I would have been like, yeah, we'll probably beat Nice. And then I would have taken draws against Monaco and Lille. So points-wise, I'm kind of okay with it, but it's not ideal, especially the way we've played. Like, we've dominated every game we've played so far, and we've only walked away sitting in 8th. We're not too far away. You know, we're looking for that 3rd spot. So look, we're 2 points off already. Some of the sides ahead of us, look, Angers, Amiens and Bordeaux. Bordeaux finished down the bottom last year. I don't anticipate any of these sides hanging around either. Monaco's down here, Lille's down there. You know, you never know. We'll see. We should be fine. So in this part of the episode, we are playing the second leg of our qualifying game against Maritimo, and then we will be getting into the draw for the Europa League group stage, hopefully, as long as we don't lose 4-0. I've tried to rotate the team around a little bit. So we've got Mera in goal, who we've signed from Napoli. Actually, we've got to go through the transfers, don't we? I haven't done the transfers yet. That might help. Let's go to transfer history. Here we go. So we have made some signings and big ones in that as well. So this is, I'm trying to think which order I made these signings in. And I think, yeah, so these are the first ones. So we've brought in Lovro, who's a young right back who will probably start playing some game time in the league to start developing him, because we are short on options. We've got Reece Devine, who, as you can see already, he's played a couple games for us and he's playing really, really well. So we're going to reward him with a start in this second leg in the Europa League as well. We've gone and brought in Mohamed Guindo, who's gone straight out on loan. My thought is him as an advanced forward in this system, once he develops with 17 pace, 16 finishing, 15 first touch and 16 acceleration, he's going to get into lots and lots of good positions. Just needs to work on his off the ball, his passing, his work rate. But we've got him on loan. I think his potential's not really as good as I felt like it could be. I reckon he will grow, just because he'll score goals for us. So there's no issue with Mohamed there. We've gone and got Diogo, who's now on loan. He's playing in League One, and he started every game so far for Amiens, who are actually playing quite well. He's got 5-star potential. I think he was free for us as well, I reckon. Yeah, so all these first guys are all free transfers, so we haven't paid anything for these guys. We've got Oliver. I don't think he's going to grow as much, but he does have decent stats, and I did buy him anticipating him playing sort of in this Mazzala role, and his stats are actually pretty good for it, other than his tackling. But we've got him on loan at Stade Reims. We'll see if he can grow even half a star or a full star, which would be ideal. And then even if he comes through, he could almost play that shadow striker role, just because he hasn't got the marking and the tackling probably to play in midfield. He'll probably end up playing as a backup in that shadow striker role, but because he is 21 years old, probably just look to sell him, to be honest. If we can get 10 mil for someone that we got in for free, no issues whatsoever. So for those that watch the Parma Safe, we have brought in our boy Dion. He is 20 years old. I don't think he's going to get to that potential, but he is our sort of replacement for Milik if we think we can make some big money on Milik and Dion grows this year. So the plan is try and get some mentoring from Milik onto Dion for this season, and we'll go from there. Alejandro Frances will be probably one of our big centre-backs coming through the system this season. Need to get his first touch probably up and about, but absolutely fantastic stats. He is a bit short though. He is 5'11". The other question is, do we train him to play our half-back role? That's something we can discuss in the comments. We've got William Saliba in on loan. I do want to try and bring him in long-term. We'll see how he goes this season, but he looks absolutely fantastic. We've gone and got Thibaut Person just because Denzel Dumfries had an injury at the start of the season, so we've just brought him on loan. Mera, I've shown you. We've got Lucas Toro, who he is just a backup halfback who no issues whatsoever. We'll play him in smaller games, play him in games like this in the Europa League. We've gone and got Peter, who I need to make sure I had him. He's available for loan. That's fine. I'm not too bothered with him playing second. Playing in our twos at the moment, to be perfectly honest. So if he's starting, I don't think he is though. So let's make him available for the 19s, because I think that's probably better for him, to be perfectly honest. And he'll be alright. He just needs to work on that finishing, but he's got decent potential. We didn't pay much for him either. What, 47k? That's not an issue. But this is the big signing. We've got young Martinelli, the 20-year-old midfielder, who's been playing in the Mazzala role for me.
and his attributes are absolutely fantastic for this position. So should be seeing him. He has that wonder kid description as well. No issues there whatsoever. In the sales, we didn't really sell a whole lot. We got rid of Barco, we got rid of Lopez because I just wanted to open up some of these European spots. So, Barco is a good player, but, we've got nowhere near his value. But I just needed that spot open so we could bring in other players. I just didn't feel like we needed another shadow striker when we had Eddie Salcedo doing so well. And then everything else was just loans and frees and things. So, no other things to really talk about. This is going to be the side that we roll with. So, it is pretty rotated. So, Devine gets a start. Person has to play. Coletta Carr, he's someone I am trying to sell. Again, we've got quite a few centre backs. His value is pretty good. He's not going to get much better. Like he is, if we have him for another year, we have him for another year. It's not an issue, but we'll go from there. Oh, he didn't pop up. We did bring in William Goebbels as well as a advanced forward backup for Makoko. Pretty solid option. 5-star potential striker. Got to just try and rotate him into the squad enough to allow him to develop. If we can just play him in some of the smaller games, we'll play Makoko in some of the bigger games. We've got Salcedo, Loftus-Cheek to play in that role there. We've got Dion and Milik in that role. There's no reason why I shouldn't be rotating and keeping everybody happy because we've got the players to do it. That's how I see it. But we'll see how we go here. We're already 4-0 up, so that's why I've rotated pretty heavily. The only position I don't have heaps of depth in is the midfield areas, and I think I might have to recall one or two people potentially in January just to say, hey, we've got Europa League knockouts and things. We are going to need people back from loan just to fill numbers, really. That's how I'm sort of looking at it. I think if we get one or two injuries to our couple midfielders, we actually don't have a lot of depth here. So it might be worth keeping a few people just in our twos, even just to say, you might not play a lot in the league, but you will when the Europa League is on, and we'll rotate, Nitcham and Mikel and all those guys out and Martinelli. So see how we go. Merritt has made an absolute blunder there, and we go 1-0 down very early to make it 4-1 on aggregate. Let's just get through this game. I do have it just on key highlights. Why have they not responded to my encouragement? Doesn't matter. Here we go. That's a good ball. That's a good run. He's got the pace. Can't get away though. Dion, oh my God, on his weak foot. Will have been an absolute blinder from Dion. And I'm keen to see how we go this year, honestly. My ambitions for this season are top 3. That's the priority. But the board want us to make the Europa League semi-final. So I do need to value, pardon me, I do need to value the Europa League, because if we get knocked out, like if we don't make it out of the group, they're going to be disappointed. If we can get to a quarter final, I think that will be like the board will say, it's not quite what we wanted, but it's enough in our first season in it. But I need to have a crack at the Europa League. I'm not anticipating that we're going to win it, and I'm not anticipating that we're actually going to get to the semi-final. We're going to need to get a good draw. But I think the team we've got is definitely good enough. But I think ideally we do need to try and push for that top 3. I think that's probably more realistic than holy moly. What a strike by China. But I think, top 3 is probably more realistic than us making a semi-final in the Europa League. You never know who's going to get knocked down from the Champions League and all those other things and all those other factors involved in a knockout competition. We might have some poor luck. We might not be able to, we might have one really bad leg in a quarter final and just, be able to recover. That's how I look at it. So as much as I'd love for some European success, and it'll be setting us up for success long term, I'm a bit concerned here with 3-1 down already. And it's 5-3 on aggregate. We do have the away goal, which does help, but if we bottle this, I'm going to be disappointed. So it's time for me to actually focus and see what's happening here. So we've got Francis on the ball, Loftus-Cheek. Here we go. Come on, boys. Can we just hold on here? Can we find a second away goal? Reece Devine has been playing quite well, and he flushes that in front of the far post. Now, Devine is struggling for a bit of fitness. This could be... I didn't really want to bring Makoko and some of the big boys on here. They've had 3 chances. This is what's frustrating me. They've had 3 chances, and they've scored 3 goals. And it's not, there was one defensive mistake. There was a wonder goal. It's just, and then one from a set piece. And it's just these wonder goals are the ones. We're just conceding. I think it's just luck at the moment. We're just conceding so many bloody wonder goals. It's beyond a joke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Reece Devine off, because I think slowly he's becoming my first choice left back. And then I'm going to have to leave Person out at right back. So we'll make some midfield substitutions probably as the other two. We'll leave the front three as it is with Loftus-Cheek and Dion and Goebbels, because they are the rotated options and I do want to get them a full 90 minutes. But here's a chance. Oh my God, it's 4-1. I'm going to make one change into the midfield. We'll go Nitcham there. And we'll get Martinelli on for Toro. Come on, boys. What are we doing? How are we 4-1 down? I'm going to demand more. This has the potential to be very, very bad for us. Obviously, if it's 5-1, we're still through on away goals. They still need 2 more goals. I don't see them getting 2 goals. But this is a bit embarrassing. Marcelino, ball in, half dealt with. Oh God, don't concede here. Come on, 1 more away goal. Let's go, Dion. Find your boy. Nah, come on, Dion, get out there. Oh, who would have thought after beating these guys 4-0 at home, we'd be losing 4-2 away. But that's probably sealed the tie for us. I'm sorry that I couldn't give you a better result for the YouTube episode. Alright, let's get Tonali back in the half-back role. And we'll do that. Confirm. And that should be all she wrote, hopefully. I don't want to see another highlight. I'll take a 4-2 loss. No, please don't concede here. Up. And that should be it. So obviously we're disappointed in the result. It's going to be our first loss for the season, but we've done enough over the 2 legs to qualify. I'm actually really surprised at how well they've played in this second leg, because they offered a very nice victory. That was a bit of a let-off. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I wasn't saying a nice victory. I know it was a victory over 2 legs, but I wouldn't be saying it was a nice victory. Alright, Panathinaikos make it into the Europa League, as do Basel, as do Utrecht. Okay, Besiktas, one of the better sides. Frankfurt make it in. AZ do not make it in. Is that that centre-back from PSG? Fiorentina make it in over AZ. That's a tough tie there. That's our tie. Atromitos make it through as well. That's cool. Who else is here? Bulk go through after extra time. What else happens here? Slavia Prague don't. Okay, Villarreal do. There's a few good sides here that have qualified the way we have as well. Let's go now. I reckon we are going to be back for the draw, which is going to happen. Where's the draw happening? It's in the next day. Let's just skip through. Why not? We're going to stay. Instead of cutting it up, let's just keep it all in one thing. We've got the draw. Should be here. We get 2 mil for qualifying, which obviously for us isn't a lot of money at the moment. As you can see, there is a note here for me. I'm trying to sign 1 more player just before the deadline. He's a young midfielder, Luca. I've never ever seen this ever happen. When I approached to sign him, I took away the wage increases, and literally after I just took that away, they're like, "No, I don't think you're shoehorning me into a corner or something. You're backing me into a corner." And we're going to refuse to sign. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I've never seen that ever. It was hilarious. But here we go. It is time for the Europa League draw. Oh, we're a first seed. That's nice. Is that because of our coefficient, maybe? Yeah. Okay, we're a first seed. So let's see what... We're Group A. Okay, Man United are in Group B. I'm assuming that's Red Star in Group C with Galatasaray, Frankfurt, Genk, Villarreal. Okay, so here we go. So who can we get? We can get Karabag. We can get Bulk, Lask, I wouldn't mind. I don't want Fiorentina. Don't want Sparta, Moscow. We'll take HNK. Who do we want? Bang. There we go. We get Lask. That's what we want. So let's see. What have we got? Ludogorets, Fiorentina, Galatasaray, Bulk. That's a big group. Same with Red Star, Spartak. They got lucky. Alright, so here we go. We can get Apollon, who I wouldn't mind, from Cyprus. To be fair, none of these teams really stand out, do they? There's not... Even throughout, but I thought he got there. It's a 4th seed. That's a tough one. Who do we get? We get Rio Ave from Portugal. And then I'm not bothered here. As long as it's not Panathinaikos or Hearts, I reckon anyone else we're fine with. And we get an Armenian side, Ganzasar. Okay, so that's our group done. So not as strong as I thought it could have been. Obviously, some of the better sides I must have just not fallen down. The only other big sides really are like Fiorentina, Villarreal. So hopefully we can just roll through the group and we'll be fine. So that is our Europa League group. And that is all we are going to cover in today's episode. So there we go. Handed an easy group. We'll take that. So when is our first Europa League game? Our first game is here against Gdansk, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to probably see our first 2 Europa League games in the next episode. So if you have liked this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow us at Twitch, or on Twitch at Paulie29 as well, to catch all the action live. And I hope you have a great day.